Welcome to magnificent Curve Building, and welcome to sunny Middlesbrough. And I are really grateful for your time and effort of coming and sharing with us your work, your view, your thoughts, and the way that we're going to do. So my presentation today really is going to be about first of all is about the area, about the Tees Valley cluster, and about our project, which is the hydrogen economy project, which is some of you are contributing heavily, and you can see here some of the project that currently running here, and we will put those online as well as part of REHIB, which is Research England Hydrogen Economy Hydrogen Innovation Project. So if I start by the agenda. So I'll show you with you the conference program, Net Zero Innovation Center, which has been set up about 2 years ago now, and then introduction to Research England, and then the other things with the delivery of outreach activities, part of what we're trying to do. So basically, as you can see here, I started to kick off the conference, and we have Stuart Hawksworth from SE, HSC. Wonderful. Thank you, Stuart, for accepting our invitation. And you really, health and safety is paramount in the hydrogen world. And then we have panel discussion, the Just Transition, which is people going to come here and people will introduce. We've got some of the 5 best people in the country for transition, particularly Just Transition, because that's what it's all about. And then we have some breakout sessions. And then in the afternoon, we will have Joanna Huddleston from DESNZ. She's going to talk about really what's coming up in terms of hydrogen innovation funding projects that DESNZ is going to share with us. And then we have another panel, which is again about the technology innovation in hydrogen, and really we put some of the best technical people in particularly in the industry to talk about what will be in 10, 15 years, where we are going to be in terms of hydrogen world, in terms of innovation and development. And then we have thematic project presentation. And the last thing, we will have a Just Transition workshop. Those who have time, they can stay with us to share with us their views about the Just Transition. We've got a little bit of workshop or program that both Matthew and Claire is going to lead. Matthew from Professor Matthew Cotton from our School of Social Science. Okay, these are some of the, I'm sure people will direct you to different things. We've got the Just Transition in this particular room in terms of breakout sessions, and we've got the transportation, and then afternoon we'll have heat and power, heat, power and power. These are all projects currently running and funded by the REHIB project. So it's not really a proposal, it's actually running, and the industry, led those development. So if I can start my quick presentation to you. So first of all, I would like to introduce our Net Zero Center. I'm sure most of you are visiting us, and this is sort of the really great achievement in terms of collaboration between TVCA. Thank you very much for contributing to the development, to the money of developing the center, dedicated to net zero projects. It is research and innovation, and hopefully we're going to serve you and support you on your journey for decarbonization. The mission is it's a pioneering center. We started lots of exciting projects, brand new facilities and equipment in the field of net zero. And I'll show you a couple of those areas that we are focusing on. We provide hub for businesses, researchers, and organizations to accelerate just transition. So that is the center being set up in collaboration with industry, with TWI at that time, and then support was received from TVCA and European local fund, and then Teesside University contributing lots of money in terms of the human resource, into professors and researchers. Just to share with you some of the why we created this. So we have a strategic location, Tees Valley. I'm sure you all agree, you all buy in, we all love Teesside. So this is why we are here and live here. So we have a strategic location to Teesside in terms of geography, community, history, willing to innovate. People have innovation in their DNA. We've got industry, sort of major companies like BP, Calas, and other petroleum and other companies. We've got a robust infrastructure in terms of ourselves and the Teesside University and Darlington and others, MPI, TWI, North, CPI. So that's the sort of thing, and then skills. So basically, just quick thing about quick tour over the net zero. So we've got about 16.4 million being invested in this particular innovation center, which is sits really at the very heart of the cluster. Well, in the industry estate, not part of the university. So that's where we are located. So we've got facilities for carbon capture and utilization, which basically this is really a great way to help industry. Particularly, I'm sure all of you appreciate that there is massive amount of investment going on in the Tees Valley in terms of the CCUS. Hydrogen labs, we've got green, blue fuel. We've got lots of facilities to support the hydrogen purification, hydrogen generation, and efficiency in the way that hydrogen is produced. And then we smart energy system. We have massive amount of projects in this, particularly in terms of microgrid and feed-in tariffs, etc., etc. The other thing that we house as well is the circular economy. We've got lots of projects going on in terms of non-mechanical plastic recycling, for example. We've got a wide range of pilots now sitting in the net zero in terms of the way that we are assisting and helping companies to innovate. And the last one is the digital modeling simulation. We have some of the major facilities in digital technologies, 3D stereoscopic, VR facilities, and we're working closely with a number of companies in terms of digital twin, particularly using the facilities for social inclusion as well. We bring people to see what it's going to see nearby, if it's going to be developed in terms of virtual reality and augmented reality. So that is the sort of things that we've been doing. So I'm sure you all aware of our the East Coast cluster, which is about 15.5 megaton of CO2 emission. This is why we set the stall in terms of reduction. By 2040, it might change. Politics is changing. But basically, this is where most of the innovation in terms of decarbonization is going to happen in the UK. All these bubbles are the industry clusters around the UK. You've got in Glasgow, you've got in Merseyside, you've got in South Wales and Southampton, where the refineries are located. So, and obviously South Wales is where the steel and other things are located. So basically, we've been earmarked for the best place to innovate and provide. So the centre really was developed on the backdrop of TVCA supporting us, and we're supporting the industry in order to produce new knowledge, new understanding, and produce talent to support the region. Okay, so there is a 2-3 minutes video before I go into REHAB project, and that's been sent really today by Dave Robson, and thank you very much. And it will give you some view on the on industry, what the industry is doing in the region in terms of hydrogen production and how that's going to feed into the CCUS. So if I can just show you the video quickly.
At H2 Northeast, we see a vibrant, decarbonised industrial future for Teesside and for the UK. A future made possible by the smallest of molecules, hydrogen. The UK has already made significant strides along the road to net zero. But the path is now steeper, because industrial heartlands like Teesside are heated and powered by gas and are hard to decarbonise. The H2 Northeast project will provide them with a cost-effective alternative source of energy, low-carbon hydrogen, securing their future, attracting new investment and helping the UK achieve its clean power mission through decarbonisation of heavy industry and power generation. H2 Northeast marries the critical national infrastructure expertise of Kellas Midstream with the low-carbon energy know-how of SSE Thermal. We will co-locate the new facility with the Kellas Cats gas terminal, which has been running safely and reliably on Teesside for over 3 decades. Cats handles around a quarter of the UK's domestic gas production and is in the heart of industrial Teesside. The H2 Northeast facility will use natural gas from Cats to create low-carbon blue hydrogen that can heat and power local industry. Burning hydrogen has zero carbon emissions and releases mostly water. But the process of producing blue hydrogen creates CO2, which is captured at source and securely stored. Blue hydrogen technology can be implemented now and at the scale needed to help the UK transition to clean energy. We have already completed the front-end engineering and design for H2 Northeast to assess the project's feasibility, and we are ready for the next step. When constructed, H2 Northeast will produce 10% of the UK government's hydrogen target, creating thousands of jobs, bringing in over £2 billion of investment and positively impacting the local economy, bringing new low-carbon energy to Teesside. To make hydrogen, gas from the Cats terminal is cleaned, mixed with steam and sent to a highly efficient 2-stage reforming process using Johnson Matthey low-carbon hydrogen technology. The natural gas is first split into hydrogen and carbon monoxide using heat and a catalyst. The second stage feeds in oxygen to boost heat, splitting even more of the natural gas. A gas shift reaction then converts the carbon monoxide to carbon dioxide, which is separated from the hydrogen in the absorption process using amine and is then compressed. The CO2 is transported through the Northern Endurance Partnership pipeline network back to the North Sea, and here it is permanently stored underground. We then deliver our low-carbon blue hydrogen via a new H2 Northeast distribution network to the energy-hungry industries of Teesside. H2 Northeast is safeguarding vibrant and thriving industry across the Tees Valley, an area on track to become one of the world's first decarbonised industrial clusters. It is vital to the UK's sustainable low-carbon energy future. H2 Northeast, bringing new energy to Teesside.
Okay, well, that is the sort of thing that you're going to see at Teesside, and this is why we are here, to help and assist to bring the process a little bit more efficient and effective. Okay, so moving on in my presentation, I've got about 10 minutes maybe. I would like just to introduce the funding that we received from UKRI, which is from your tax money. It's called Research England Hydrogen Innovation Project. This particular project we started to work on as the centre, the Net Zero Centre started to be developed. We said, okay, how are we going to fill this with research activities, or where the money is going to come from? So basically, this is where we started looking at funding, and we still keep bidding and we keep doing lots of work in this particular area of decarbonisation. But this project's been funded, it's been running for about 2 years now. So it's about 3 years ago we started the process. So the vision is to accelerate just transition to adoption of hydrogen through catalyzing and embedding research and development across the supply chain. So we can cross the supply chain with Durham University. That's the combined our effort to sort of support the industry in the Tees Valley. So combine research strength of Durham and Teesside, co-develop research with hydrogen supply chain, stimulate innovation, change behavior of employer and industrial transformation into the Tees Valley. Other pillars of what we're trying to do is regional decarbonization and energy security plans. That's we're using the Tees Valley decarbonization plan and how we can support it with a new knowledge, a new understanding, and a new project, a new product, new processes. Existing industry infrastructure is great in the Northeast. Built on strong engagement with industry. We already have ourselves at Durham have a great long-term relationship with industry, and said how we can progress this particular relationship and build it up with the stakeholders. The other big thing, which is in the video you saw as well about the skills, there will be thousands of skills needed. So how are we going to bridge the gap in skills? So desire to tackle significant socioeconomic challenge, including high level of deprivation and employment. So that's something as well on the social agenda that you're going to hear from our panel later on today about the socioeconomic and the social value. Okay, so this is the investment. Investment is about 4.8 million from Research England Development Fund, and universities contributing with 5.5. I just take the opportunity to thank both university leadership for recognizing the value and the benefit of this particular project. In total, we received about 11 million. Okay, so the project is focused on 4 pillars, and this is why you see some of these projects in some of these pillars, and as you go and talk to our research fellows. So the first pillar is transportation, both H2 transport and vehicles using hydrogen, particularly heavy vehicles. And you can see some of the posters outside in this particular area. The other one is high-grade flexible heating. Again, this is about heat transition and looking at particularly at the foundation industries, how they're going to move from current heating system or current energy systems into hydrogen. And then flexible resilience electrical power, again looking at hydrogen in the loop, particularly working with the renewables and how you store some of these excess energy when you don't need it, and how that is going to work in the industry. And the big thing really just transition, planning, regulation, and legislation processes. So this is the 4 pillars that we've started to look at when we put the bid, and each of those pillars really been developed before we went to the bid. We proposed a number of projects for these pillars, research projects. But the uniqueness about this particular project is basically we've done lots of sandpit with industry, and some of you were present at the sandpit and the industry being developed. So what expectations of this particular project is being running for 2 years. There's another 2.5 years to go, and we've got at the moment about 14 research and innovation projects running. So the outcome we expect to advance the novel technology, policy practice, and understanding of exploit opportunities, provide a sustainable pipeline of researchers and innovation. That's one of the big things that UKRI was interested. Do we have the knowledge? Do we have the people that will be able to help and assist in the transition, understand how things are going to be done, the new materials and new processes, and deliver a beacon for just energy transition, which is a big thing really here, particularly here in the Northeast, where how are you going to redeploy people and how you get the public to understand and appreciate the transition. We expected impact. We expected environmental impact, so helping TVCA to reach its target, improve air quality, wider ecosystem. We expect economic impact, investment opportunities, job creation, and as we travel around the world, particularly in where the rich countries, there is lots of need for new technology, new processes that you're going to adopt. So we are a little bit ahead in the game in terms of trying to develop these policies and these processes. They can then pay for it. And social impact, we have health benefits. This is all in the process of being measured as we go along. community resilience, sustainable livelihood, promoting EDI, building capacity and skills. So all of this is going to be somehow discussed in the morning session. As I said, the uniqueness of this particular project is that we developed some headlines and some ideas, and then we invited industry to a sandpit to tell us what they want and how we can accommodate their needs and their requirements, and where is things heading in the coming few years. So we've got events attended, and most all the project they're going to see today, whether in the posters or whether in the breakout sessions, are part and parcel of these workshops in which we've invited industry. We've like BP, Calas, Expand Metal, MPI, Plutonium, a wide range of companies came, SMEs and others. Project ideas developed, mixed policy, techno-economical, science-based, and these projects, once these ideas being matured, then we ask academic from the two universities to develop full proposals, and then we put it again to a committee that we have, which is predominantly industry, called RLCG, to approve or disapprove particular projects, and that is, once it's been approved, we allocate a research fellow or two research fellows and start the project. So this is somehow a wonderful and unique process of this particular project, which is we focusing on industry, focusing on impact, and to start with industry. So these are, as you can see, some of the attendance in the workshops and these breakout sessions and the discussion that we had. We had another one on the 11th of September, another workshop. Again, people come in, express their interest in these 4 pillars, and we split them in 4 pillars. And the new project ideas developed as well: policy, technical adoption, of hydrogen, industrial applications, ammonia, and other things. So this is, that's the journey that we've been in, and it's really producing a wonderful projects that industry is taking the lead, and the value and the benefit is going to be for industry. These are some of the companies I would like to acknowledge and thank those companies who attended. You see the red is the, sort of blue chip big companies. Others are SMEs, and the blue are research institute. And government department. So this all came, and this wonderful sort of interaction in terms of what's needed, particularly focusing on the area. Of course, the area will be a beacon for innovation, and therefore these projects, although the application and things are local, but those projects are all internationally, because it's really based on international academic rigor and work. Okay, so just quickly, summary: we've got 2 sandpit, 67 industry, 10 transportation projects being developed, ideas, and we took these ideas, and 10 high-grade heat, and then 11 flexible and resilient electrical power. Then we took these projects and developed them a little bit further with industry and academia. We put an academic and then research fellows to start the ball rolling. So this is the numbers that we put forward in terms of projects. We've got 10 in transportation, 10 in high grade, 11 flexible heating, and 8 in just transition. And as you go to breakout session, people will tell you, oh, by the way, this is in transportation. For example, we have the Cleveland Police interested in moving, and you can see some of the advertisement, moving some of their vans, etc., to hydrogen. So we're doing lots of trials with them. We've got other companies interested in testing some of the transportation hydrogen in terms of storing in pipes and storage and transportation of hydrogen in pipes, etc. High flexible heat as well. We have lots of exciting projects looking at the different technique for salt water electrolyzers, etc. Then electrical power as well, and just transition. Here we see all of these projects on display at the moment. So these are the projects that we're currently running. We started, as you can see here, most of the projects are progressing. We started in 2004, Q1, one of the projects, as we started to recruit 16 research fellows between us and Durham. So there was some delay in recruitment. As you know, not many experts are around, so we've had to recruit people from overseas as they arrive, and all the visas sorted. And as you can see, all these projects. So you've got the first two projects from Seawater Electrolyzers. We've got fuel choice analysis for Teesside transport sector. We've got standard in terms of project 4, and you can see each project is being labeled 1, 2, 3 in the posters. And as you go down, we've got working with hospitals on the hydrogen fuel or transition to hydrogen. We've got the byproduct of H2, and there are lots of wonderful projects, and we will circulate these presentation to you, but all the projects are here. Okay, so these are the technical work, but then we done lots of outreach activities. And Ellie, thank you, Ellie, for leading this. Is Ellie here? Thank you for leading this. So it's not just about technical, it's about the outreach. So we've done lots of work in terms of support being offered to schools. So we take some experimental kit to school. We've got ambassadors as well, our research fellows, STEM ambassadors, take them to schools and show to pupils. We invite pupils as well to come here from different schools and we've got lots of help from class, midstream in terms of in these particular outreach activities. So we've got visits, hands-on and workshops, primarily with the school students. Other things as well, we delivered outreach in the Pint of Science as well. We've got lots of our researchers went and to the public how they convey the message of hydrogen. And we had a quite exciting discussion with people who are more pro electricity compared to hydrogen, and the debate is ongoing, I think, even in the highest political environment. And then Festival of Thirst as well. We went to that's in Billingham, right? That's in Billingham. So we took all the things, and the public came, see what's all about, and we asked them, as you can see here, there's a sticker here, ask them what they think about hydrogen as and there are lots of support, and others, particularly some of those people who've been disappointed by some of the closure of our facilities like Steel and said I'll see it, I'll believe it when I see it. There's lots of talk, but that's the sort of thing that we need to sort of really win the heart and mind of people. In terms of, because they've been through quite difficult time in terms of the closure of some of our industries here. So it's ongoing debate at the moment, and this is why we are somehow contributing. And in the breakout, in the group discussion that's going to happen this morning, they're going to talk about this. How we can win the heart and mind of people in order to sort this out. The other things, which is we invite you to come to STEM Net Zero in 2025, which is going to be in our Darlington campus, which is focusing showcase hydrogen-enabled innovation and net zero technologies through 45 bookable activities. So that's again lots of students, primary schools, and we have lots of people going to attend this particular event from schools. So working on the outreach as a really stepstone as well. It's not only technology, is people in the loop, the outreach that we need to focus on. Okay, so I think I've come to my last slide. This is the team. You can see all beautiful people looking, as Trump would say, it's all beautiful. And they're contributing heavily, really. This is from our research fellows, our academic from both Teesside and Durham. I would like to take the opportunity to thank the teams for really pushing hard with the wonderful activities that are going on at the moment, both Teesside and Durham. Thank you.